The year is 2016. The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine expansion just released. Shortly after its release to the public, one of the largest game development endeavors ever seen begins, known as Cyberpunk 2077. Hey fellas, as most of you already know, 3 years ago on December 10th, Cyberpunk 2077 was released to the public. Developed by CD Projekt Red, it's easily one of the most ambitious action role-playing games ever made as of today. And that shows. I've put 60 hours into one save and still haven't finished everything there is to do when it comes down to general quests and gigs. You play as V, a mercenary for hire in Night City. That is all I'm going to say when it comes down to the story. I urge you to play the game on your own. It is one of those games that most people should play. What I'm going to be talking about today is its very rocky beginning and how it got to where it is today. 3 years ago the game was released, and it was a very rushed release to say the least. The game was delayed 3 times before it was released at the end of December, and when it did, it was beyond a broken mess. It was so broken that anybody who pre-ordered it or purchased it on previous gen consoles were given a full refund, and on top of that, the game was taken off all digital play stores. On the review page, all you could see were negative reviews because it was literally unplayable on release, and it was completely deserved.
Please, accept my apologies for the confusion.
What? What the fuck is that bug?
Project were under a metric ton of backlash due to the game being in the state that it was after 3 delays. 3 years later, and it is still a mess. It's better, but there are still a lot of game-breaking bugs. There are even bugs that completely prevent you from playing through the main questline without either cheating your way through some walls with no clip or replaying several hours of the game. And in more severe cases, completely restarting your save. In case you aren't already aware, most people don't want to do that. Due to this, there are people who are losing hours and hours of gameplay on their characters. Some of the most common bugs are cars forgetting that they are cars and flying, falling through the map into the deepest depths of hell, NPCs and sometimes even you interacting with props that aren't there, areas and NPCs in the map being incredibly low resolution even when you are right in front of them, NPCs spawning in the wrong places, your character's genitals phasing through their pants, and yeah, that's a feature in the game, items floating, and NPC T-posing. The list goes on. Whereas yes, the bugs are less prevalent today than they were 3 years ago, but they still occasionally happen. Over the next 2 years, the game slowly but surely faded out of the spotlight, being forgotten within a few years of the release. Then on September 13th, 2022, Cyberpunk Edgerunners came out of nowhere. You may be wondering, what is Cyberpunk Edgerunners? Is it a bug fix? Is it a content update? Is it a brand new Cyberpunk game? If you guessed any of those, you'd be wrong. It was an anime. I plan on making a video about it because in stark contrast to the game, it didn't suck. I won't say much about the game in this video, but it threw 2077 back right into the spotlight and brought new and old fans alike to the game. It was actually what got me into Cyberpunk. And the best part, by then the game was actually playable. Still broken, but it's more of a Bethesda broken, so it's got a charm to it that people love for whatever reason. Gameplay-wise is about what you'd expect. Like I said earlier, it was a very ambitious project, so there are a ton of weapons. There are 18 unique weapon classes with another 5 subclasses consisting of Power, Smart, Tech, Blunt, and Blade. On top of that, there are 5 different rarities for every weapon that increase its stats, and there's even a possibility for it to be a unique weapon, which doesn't mean much, but it goes on your wall in V's apartment, which is cool, I guess. You're also able to get cyberware implants that drastically change the way that the game plays. Implants that are as simple as something that lets you use the smart weapon class to the iconic Sandebistan that allows you to slow down time for everyone but yourself. There are also 26 vehicles that you're able to purchase and 5 apartments you can purchase. Of course, the apartments do nothing, and the best car in the game that you can get is for free in a cave in the middle of the desert. There are 3 or 4 endings you can get depending on how you played through the game. Of course, none of them are really happy endings, as Cyberpunk tells a story that the end isn't what's important, and instead it's the experiences you went through in that life that matters. Regardless, endings are endings, all of which were good in my opinion. Not happy, but still good. Unfortunately, after achieving any of the endings, you can't really do much other than working towards 100%ing the game or replaying it, as there is no new game plus mode. That also significantly slows the leveling, which is terrible. Luckily for people who regularly play the game, there is a DLC coming soon. Unlucky part, not only is it paid DLC and costs $30, it also isn't available on previous gen consoles. Meaning if you want to play it and you're on previous gen, you need to upgrade to a PC capable of running it or to the current gen. The DLC says it's supposed to be a spy thingy, so it seems like it's going to be centered around stealth, so I likely wouldn't enjoy it that much. I'll still purchase it when I can, just to, play it. I'm not sure what else they'll add other than new story and certain mechanics that are supposed to be similar to cyberpsychosis. Regardless, I'll be interested in finding out. It's also supposed to remove major bugs, which is cool, I guess. Anyways, that puts us at today. The game is still very buggy and there's DLC on the way. It really hasn't changed much other than small content updates relating to Johnny's appearance and references to Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Cyberpunk 2077 is an action roleplay game released in 2020 by CD Projekt Red. Upon release, it was considered a terrible game, and with good reason, it was. 4 parts of the game were either unavailable or just didn't work. Despite all that, I urge that you play the game. It isn't a bad game. It's been 3 years and a lot of the bigger issues have been solved. That's all for today. All of my socials are at BuggyD's. A Discord server is in my Instagram bio as well. Go ahead and join that. That's all.
Only thing that lean is your bitch when I bend her over. Sipping Poland Spring in Arizona. Fuck a Coca-Cola. That's your Juliet? Oh, that's cool. I'm a Romeo her. You think you a demon till I G you like I'm Tomioka.